We have been exploring how to reveal our authentic selves. But now the question becomes, how do we live from that place? How do we move through life as our whole authentic self? Hello, friends, and welcome back to The Free Advantage, brought to you by The Risky Path. I'm Heather Davis, and I want to invite you to join me each week as we explore self-discovery, authenticity, and the journey to recovering a life of freedom. This podcast is about sharing and exploring impactful experiences that we all share in relatable and digestible ways. And with so much information out there, it can be overwhelming to take it all in. And here, I want to give you small bites that you can take back into your week and integrate into your daily life. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I want to thank you all for joining me this week as we continue on in our series, Holy Living, A Journey to Your Authentic Reveal. We have discussed living whole in our bodies, hearts, minds, and spirits, alongside what it means to be living filtered as unauthentic versions of ourselves. And we have also discussed why our story matters and the cost of staying where we are. And I hope along this journey you are making your way back to your original, genuine, God-created self. This journey is not an easy one, and it takes time. Whether you're getting reacquainted with yourself or meeting your true self for the very first time, this is a process, a sacred one, and it unfolds over a lifetime. Do not be worried if there is more work to be done. If you don't feel it all 100% yet, just know that you are right where you are supposed to be, in this moment, right here, right now. We have spent the last few weeks in this whole series uncovering who we really are and learning how to live whole. But now the question becomes, how do we live from that place? How do we move through life as our whole, authentic self? Walking in our authenticity, our truest selves, is not a routine or a habit to achieve. It is not another thing for us to just check off the list of accomplishments. It's not a task, and it's not something we do. It's who we are. There was a time that I strived and worked to make things that I did authentic to who I thought I was or who I thought I wanted to be. It was something I was trying to achieve. I was trying to do the authentic thing instead of living and being my authentic self. When we are living from our authentic self, the things that we do are authentic. And you will spend less time thinking about, is this authentic or am I being authentic? Because it just will be. You cannot be walking in the truth of your divine design and be unauthentic. It's not possible. However, along my journey, I found that walking and living as my authentic self is not always where I found myself. When I started to truly uncover my buried, real self, I believed that once I knew who I truly was, once I knew my truth, that I would automatically just be this person. It seemed easy in my mind. But it was also a very easy misconception, and it's one I fell into. Because I wasn't always living from that place. I had uncovered parts of myself, yes, but I didn't yet know how to live from that place daily. Living authentically? It's not automatic. And if you find yourself struggling, not knowing why it's difficult, as you move forward in your journey, integrating all that you've learned about yourself, I want you to know that authenticity isn't a permanent state. The truth is there are still external expectations, old conditionings, familiar patterns that keep trying to pull us back into filtered living, back into the version of ourselves that we are fighting hard to break free from. And like I said earlier, getting to know your authentic self is a process, a journey. It's one thing to uncover your authentic self, but another to live from that place consistently. Authenticity ebbs and flows with us as we learn to stay true to ourselves. It changes shape with us as we grow, the circumstances we face, through our experiences and our relationships. When we embody our authentic self in our everyday decisions and behaviors, it's going to show up And it's going to show up in the way that you process your emotions, the way that you set clear boundaries, speak your truth, the way that you start advocating for your needs, the way that you choose your priorities and start to navigate your triggers. And it's going to show up in the way that you celebrate your joys. And you will not always get it right, and that's okay. I don't either. I still have moments and days where I notice myself slipping back into a filtered version of myself. And when this happens, I want you to do what I do. Stop, pause, and check in. I ask myself these 3 questions. Is this behavior aligned with who I really am? Am I making decisions based on my truth and desire, or am I making them out of fear? And what would my authentic self want to do in this moment? When you take the time to stop, to pause and listen, your authentic self will speak up. And now it's time for us to start listening. Every moment gives you a new opportunity, a new chance to realign, return to your truth, and recommit to the person that you've revealed. As you move forward in your authentic reveal, more of your true self will be revealed over time. You will experience a feeling of belonging at times when you are walking in your true design. And there will be times when you feel your old self creeping back in, falling back into patterns and ways of yesterday. As you begin to recognize the ways your authenticity shows up and what it looks and feels like when you slip back into those old versions of yourself, and as you're learning to integrate, I want you to take a moment to slow down. Let's stop, pause, and listen together. I want to invite you to take a moment for yourself. As most of you know, each week I have been sharing a reflection and reveal practice throughout this series, and today isn't just about understanding authenticity as a concept. It's about embodying it, choosing it, and recommitting to it again and again. And that starts with awareness. It always does. So let's slow down for a moment. Let's create a space to reflect, to reconnect, and realign with our authentic self, the one that you have worked so hard to uncover. Let's take a breath. Breathe in and out. In and out. Place your hand over your heart if you can. We are going to take a moment to slow down, to seek and listen to ourselves. I am going to give you a series of questions to ask yourself. Pause and listen for your authentic self to answer. You may write these down or hold on to them in your heart and your mind. Where in your life are you still showing up filtered, out of fear, habit, or conditioning? What part of you is still trying to be who others want or expect you to be? Where do you feel fragmented or parted out? Now I want you to ask yourself these questions. What would my authentic self say or do in that space instead? What truth have I been afraid to embody in my daily life? And what would it look like to take just one small step toward that truth this week? Now your reveal. I encourage you to choose one small moment each day where you consciously choose to act, speak, or decide from your authentic self. It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. Maybe it's saying no when you usually say yes. Maybe it's sharing your opinion instead of holding back. Or maybe it's wearing what feels like you instead of what feels acceptable. Whatever it is, do it on purpose and do it authentically. Every moment you choose truth over performance, every time you pause and return to yourself, you are choosing to live free. For those of you wanting a little extra support, I have created a cheat sheet to help you stop, pause, and listen. You can print it out and put it up where you can see it to serve as a reminder of how to keep coming back to yourself. I've added the link in the description and in my show notes at theriskipath.com/TFA journal. Living authentically isn't a final destination. It's a faithful direction. It's a moment-by-moment journey of remembering who you are and choosing to live from that place every single day. Some days it will feel natural and empowering, and others might feel uncertain, vulnerable, or even exhausting. But each time you pause, check in, and choose the real you, the you have recovered, the original, undisputed version, the you were created to be, the you that God designed, the one who's always been there, beneath the noise, beneath the roles, beneath the conditioning. Each time you return to that version, you claim your reveal and begin living free. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on The Free Advantage. For more tools, support, and inspiration, please visit my website, theriskipath.com. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your voice matters, and it helps us to grow and get our message out to more people just like you. Don't forget to download your free cheat sheet, and let's continue this journey to freedom together. And remember, we have been exploring how to reveal our authentic selves. But now the question becomes, how do we live from that place? How do we move through life as our whole authentic self?